Raymond Pettibon is a self-taught artist born in Tucson, Arizona in 1957. He grew up in Hermosa Beach in California, and he studied at UCLA to earn a degree for economics. He lived in his parents' basement for quite a while and created an immense amount of artwork until he recently moved to Brooklyn, where he still creates some of his artwork today. First, Raymond Pettibon was inspired and influenced what punk art is today. Second, Pettibon didn't necessarily have to be technically good to be admired. And third, Pettibon mixed his artwork with text. Raymond Pettibon made an influence in the punk art and the art world in general. First, Raymond Pettibon was inspired and influenced what punk rock is today. He first made posters for bands, LA bands such as Circle Jerks and Black Flag, which he made this art, and he picked up traction, and he people started noticing his artwork, and quickly his artwork was being admired at galleries, and more of his artwork started appearing in different record covers. And his most famous cover was Sonic Youth's Goo. Pettibon's low-tech DIY approach, which is his lack of formal art training, his stark graphic style, and morbidly funny political and cultural critiques were certainly in tune with the hardcore anti-establishment attitudes. Pettibon established the visualization of the embodiment of what punk is today. And because of his DIY style, this brings me to my next point. Second, Pettibon didn't have to be technically good to be admired. Mr. Pettibon isn't particularly a good draftsman in any orthodox sense, but that's where Mr. Pettibon gets his considerable clout. His drawings eschews academic gloss, but clearly knows to draw for his own purposes. Art is subjective, and what defines something as good varies from person to person. Pettibon's drawings aren't complete without his use of text, which brings me to my third and final point. Third, Pettibon mixes his art with text. Almost all of Pettibon's work is dominated by an image, but the images are unremarkable themselves and made interestingly primarily by the presence of handwritten phrases and sentences above, below, or around the artwork. Some of the texts seem to be lifted from movie scripts, others from literature, and some from the sort of reactive interior rants that some of us drop into unguarded subway moments. These three elements are what make Pettibon's artwork his: the text, his ink work, and his punk influence. Today, we learned about Raymond Pettibon's brief history and how Raymond Pettibon made an influence in the punk art and the art world in general. First, Raymond Pettibon was inspired and he influenced what punk art is today. Second, Pettibon didn't have to be technically good at drawing to be admired. And third, Pettibon mixed his artwork with text. Because art is subjective, Raymond Pettibon can be quickly dismissed when the conversation of who is good and who isn't comes up. Everyone has a different point of view and is entitled to their own opinion. Pettibon caters to himself and to those who have similar mindsets, inspiring generations of punk rock artists, skateboarders, and the so-called lazy artists that the art world labels today.